So, I want to say once again, thank you all so much for coming, and a Mazel Tov. It is such a special celebration. It's so special to be here with everybody, and when our family is here, also our family by blood that came from a little further, whether from Chicago or from Colorado, and also our family, our extended family, our community, everybody here together to celebrate makes it so, so special. And I want to, there's not a long formal program, but I want to hear from of course, all of the grandparents that are here with us, but perhaps most importantly, I want to ask my wife, who gets all the credit, most of the credit, I think all the credit, to share a few words. So, Sarah, if you could please come up and share a few words in honor of the great celebration of our dear baby Zelda, in honor of the birth.
First of all, thank you so much for coming, everyone. It really means so much to us that we have the community here. And they say that it takes a village to raise a child, so you can only imagine with 5 children what a village it takes, and we're very thankful that we have all of you. And I'm not going to, I don't have any formal words to say, but I just feel so overwhelmed with gratitude for our beautiful community here in Springfield, and of course our families back home who have, they don't live near us, but of course they show their support in so many ways. And I'll just say that with this baby, with our 5th, I really had no idea when to expect the arrival, because you probably remember that all of our kids were born early, whether it was like 5.5 weeks early like Mushka, or 4.5 weeks early like Shayna, or Gershon and Levi, who are just 2 weeks early. So I really had no idea when to expect the new baby. Because that gives about 2 months. It could have been, or the baby could be late. It's all in God's hands. So I was kind of with this birth. I was also just so busy. It was right after the high holidays that I was due. Actually, not really. I was really due a month after the high holidays, but in my mind, I was due right after because I've been given birth early for my others. So I was just, kind of like, listen, when it comes, we'll figure it out. We can't really plan. My mom can't be in town for 2 months. She wishes she could probably, but she has a lot going on at home, and my in-laws obviously as well. So I was just kind of like not really thinking about the baby's arrival, to be honest. I was, just busy with the high holidays, with hosting, with cooking, with my kids and everything else. And I got this text like in middle of holiday season. I'm just going to read it to you because it meant so much to me. And this is from Amy, someone in the community who's I'm really good friends with. She wrote, "I know you have a big support system and have had 4 other kids, but I was wondering if you would like, hand prepping some food for when the baby comes. I'd be happy to offer my time to help make meals for after the baby's arrival. Obviously no pressure, but I wanted to offer." And it was really like, I was so not in the baby mode. I was just like, let's get through the high holidays, then I could think about the baby. And just like the idea that someone would be sitting at home thinking, hey, what would Sarah need for when she gives birth? And offer to come to my house because, we eat kosher and we can't eat out, can't order anything like that. And offering to cook. And that was like the beginning of like, oh, okay, maybe I should start thinking more practically too. But it also helped me feel like I'm gonna be prepared for what I need. And so she came to help as well as Joe, who's amazing, help as well. Hi. That's how you want to take her. I forgot that I'm not supposed to carry him. Otherwise, I would have. And so she came to help. And then, throughout the high holidays, we saw a lot of the community. And so many people were like, yeah, if you need any help, let me know. What could I do? And, so many offers to help. And I knew that I had people I could rely on until, my parents or my in-laws came, as backup. And I actually went to the hospital. First, I went last Wednesday evening. I went in. I thought maybe I was going into labor, and because I've given birth so quickly, I just went to be safe. And it was at night. It was like 10:30 at night, I think. And we didn't have any plans, like I said, because you can't really plan these things. So we knew we could call someone. We had plenty of people we knew we could call, and we chose to call Joel. And he came over at night, like 20 minutes later. He didn't know if he'd stay the whole night, what the situation would be. The kids were sleeping, thank God, and he hung out at our house for like 4 hours till I got back. But then I actually went in 2 days later. Yeah, okay. Then actually on Friday is when I actually went into the hospital when I was actually in real labor. And I was very lucky. My good friend Giula from Chicago was visiting us for that weekend. So I knew that my house, she would be able to take care of the food and make sure, the Shabbat preparations would all happen. And her husband and her kids were here, which was wonderful. And then we called a few people for backup as well. She has her own kids, so we called. We had Philip here, a doctor. He's not here at the moment. We had Emily. I saw her somewhere. She was helping out with the kids. Yeah. We had who else? Libby came. Justine came. We just knew there's so many people who are so happy to help, and thank God we have 4 other kids. They each need their own shadow. No, I'm just joking. But we were so thankful that we had everyone here that this is our extended family, and our family. My parents are from Colorado. They obviously can't come for second. My in-laws from Chicago, and they would obviously come in if we needed, but they have their own kids who go to school and have a lot going on. So we knew that we could rely on our community, and they'll be there for us, which of course they were. And then afterwards, my mother-in-law arranged all this food to be sent to me, all this fresh food as well, besides for the food that we had from Amy and Joe. And they prepared for us to go to Chicago so that the kids could go to school. We'll go there for a week to recover. My parents made tickets right away. They came. My mom has been cooking since Wednesday. She's been in the house taking care of me and taking care, for this event. And my brother-in-law Kalman and other one Zalman came as well, and just everyone just really came together today. Maya came to help early, and Libby came as well. Libby I could mention a few times, so she's always been there for us. Yeah. Do you want to say thank you to anyone?
No.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. You want to tell everyone something or me?
Me.
Okay. What do you want to say?
I love you.
What?
I love you.
You want me to hold you?
Yeah.
You're good at Tati, cutie. I hope I didn't forget anyone because there's so many people who... Okay, what are you saying? So say.
No, you say I'm in school.
Oh, okay. Mushka wants to say that she's going to go... Next week we're going to go to Chicago. Thank God we're going to stay at my in-laws once my parents leave. And she gets to go to school for a week.
No, next.
To Shayna's class. Her and Shayna are going to get to go to school together while they're in Chicago. Gershon already goes there, as most of you probably know. So they get to get their little chance. Levi will get to go to playgroup, so that's a really nice way of getting to recover. Because how old is she? Show everyone. Mushka is 4. And she's super excited. So yeah, that's all my gratitude to all of you, and we're very excited to be part of this community, to continue to share in good, happy occasions, and hopefully we'll just continue to go from one simcha to the next, one happy occasion to the next. Want to sit here?
Simcha, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simcha, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simcha. Yeheilanu, 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 Lechol Yisrael. Yeheilanu, Yeheilanu, Lechol Yisrael. Thank you so much. That's right. A big thank you to everybody. So one of the people that are here, like we mentioned, is Sarah's father. So I want to ask Rabbi Shiner, the Chabad rabbi from Boulder, Colorado, if he could share a few words in honor of the Simcha.
It's incredible to be here again. Whenever I'm here, it's really such a joy. You know, when we use the word extended family, sometimes it's used sometimes lightly. But anyone that knows Mendy and Sarah knows that it's not used lightly. The way that they really embrace everyone and everybody embraces them, I think everybody really feels that way in a very real way. So it's a great simcha. In the Torah we find that the Torah portions that we're reading now is about Abraham, and we see Hashem blesses him that his children will multiply and be as great as the stars, like the stars of the heaven. And the commentaries discuss that seemingly, today we know scientifically that there are, I don't have exact numbers, but there's a tremendous amount of stars, billions, trillions. But in any case, if you look up at the stars, it doesn't really look that, okay, there's how many stars are there? And you look up at a good night, how many stars can you see? However, the point of the blessing is that every single neshama, every Jew, every single soul that comes down is Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam. The verse says, the candle of Hashem is the soul of a person. And every child that's coming down is like a star bringing light into the world. There is a light, when a child comes down, when a neshama comes down, there's a spiritual light that comes down into the world and uplifts the world and makes the world better and happier and holier. And the ones that get to really see this up close and really enjoy this is the community. They're like Sarah mentioned, this is the family. A few months ago, Sarah and Mendy went to Israel for a Simcha for their brother's wedding, and we had with us two girls. We had Shayna and Mushka with us, and it was Shabbos morning, and kids, they don't have the rest of the family, so we have to keep them busy, They shouldn't feel like they're with their old grandparents, So I took them down the block. We have a big independent living place. As I took them down the block, and we were hanging out there, and I was speaking to people, and I was asking people, are you Jewish? I always meet different people. I wanted to talk to them, about as a Chabad rabbi, you talk to them about Torah, about the Shabbos, whatever it might be. And then after a little while, I said, okay, Shayna and Mushka, you ready to go home? They said, no. Because meanwhile, while we were talking, kids have a genius way of doing things. They can take the most simple things, and all of a sudden it becomes into a big game, and it's a lot of fun, and everybody's running and laughing, So this became a game. When anyone came down to the main floor from the elevator, are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? And they're running around, and they're asking everybody, and they're running. They're having a great time. It's like exciting for them. And you know what? They found some Jews. So one guy tells me, he says, he found a Jew, and they found a Jew. So then I come up as backup, try to help them out a little. So I'm schmoozing with one guy, and he tells me after the conversation, he said, I'm really very disconnected from my Judaism, and I would never really get into a conversation about my Judaism, but these kids are too cute, I couldn't pass that one up. So this is the light they bring into the world. They bring this light, this joy, and Kanei Nahara, Mendy and Sarah's kids are all beautiful kids. They're all so much light, so much joy. I don't want to say so well behaved, but they're pretty well behaved. In any case, Hashem should help that we should only get together for Simchas. And Baruch Hashem, I cannot mention to see in this beautiful room here together for Simchas how we're going from strength to strength. And we always should feel this. We should always have happy occasions and get together for happy occasions, both in the Turen family and in all of your families. You should all have happy occasions in your families, and we should have we're still in the beginning of the year. We should have a blessed year, and Israel should have a blessed year. And very soon we'll have, the Talmud says that the best preparation for Mashiach is when new kids come into the world, because they bring this light that helps us finish the task of uplifting the world. And very soon we'll finish and we'll have the coming Mashiach split in our days.
Thank you very much, my dear father-in-law. We appreciate so much not only you coming from far, but I guess you're right. The kids sometimes come all the way to you guys. And was always curious what they were kept busy with while they were there, but now I got the inside scoop. They love going, and I'm sure there'll be more opportunities for the kids to come visit. Baruch Hashem.
I just wanted to shout out to Yisrael, to Steve Rambach, who I didn't. Where is he? Oh, there. I didn't thank in my speech, and it's on my mind since then. He always offers to take pictures. He reached out, I think, like the day after he gave birth. Do you want to take newborn pictures? And it means so much to us that not only are you such a good friend of ours, but that you're always thinking, how can we capture the good moments? So thank you.
That's right.
Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. A little hard to follow, a good act, but from a different vantage point, I didn't know you were going to hear so many speeches. Sorry. Zelda was born a week ago. Now, the day she was born was Friday night, and in the Jewish it was the 15th day, the complete moon. We're very lunar people. The complete moon of this Jewish month called Cheshvan. So there's a book the Rebbe came out with, Lubavitcher Rebbe. His first book was actually a children's version, and the second book was the adult one that I'm going to reference. And it was a book saying the energy of every single day. It's called Day to Day. And every single day has a special energy. And I have found, eerily enough, I'll give it about a third of the time to be conservative. When I look at what happens on that day, if it's a birth of a child, an anniversary, a passing, I found something about that person relating in the thought of the day. So I'm like, let me get a sneak preview. Let me find out what little Zelda is going to be about. So I looked at this book, and this is what Lubavitcher Rebbe writes as the energy of last Shabbos, last Saturday. He says, a soul waits above until the time the soul can come down below to be in a body, because the soul knows what she can accomplish here. Sorry, men, souls are in the feminine. The soul knows what she can accomplish here. The soul knows here, uniquely here, she can connect to the ultimate pleasure in God. So what are you waiting for? This was the thought. And as I was thinking today, look at Zelda. She's been around this world for about 7 days. She's not wasting any time. Look what she accomplished. All of us here together, she's not wasting time. She's not one of these, no, what are you waiting for? So, thinking, what do you say, again, at a gathering where you don't know what the baby's about, but you're going to guess? CNN asked Lubavitcher Rebbe, what is your message to the world about the coming of Mashiach, the redemption? And Lubavitcher Rebbe responded, Mashiach is ready. I'm looking down because I want to make sure I get it right. Mashiach is ready to come now. The only thing we need to do is add in goodness and kindness. The Redeemer is ready to come. Redemption is ready. We can all use it. Our part, and when the reporter questioned him, the Rebbe responded, just a little. Just a little addition in goodness and kindness, that's all we need. So I thought this is so living with the times. Living with the times means living with the Torah portion. Yesterday's Torah portion, for those that were absent from synagogue and missed Rabbi Mendy's great overview, it's about the first shidduch, the first matchmaking event in biblical history. There's this wonderful guy, a little old, not so bad, 37. He needs a wife, and his father sends who we know as the first, we call it shadchan, the first matchmaker, Eliezer. He goes, he's supposed to find a woman worthy of Isaac. He doesn't know any girls. No social media in those days. What's he going to do? He comes to the well, and he sends up a prayer to God. And he says, God, if a girl will come here, and I will ask her, can you give me a little water? Not those cute little bottles, the old-fashioned draw from the well type. And she says, not only will I want to give you water, I want to draw water for all your camels. That is a wife Isaac deserves. And lo and behold, God, like split of the eye, I wish my prayers were responded to as quickly. Suddenly, there comes Rebecca. Can I have a little water? I'd love to give you water. Can I draw water for all your camels? And thus became our ancestors, Rebecca and Isaac. Rebecca, our matriarch. Now, I don't remember her personally, but I am sure Rebecca has many, many, many awesome virtues. But what the Torah, what the scriptures is highlighting is kindness. Because kindness is innate to the Jew, to the Jewish woman, to the Jewish wife, to the Jewish mother, and actually, guys, to all Jews. Kindness is our nature. It actually is recorded in the Talmud. I see Rabbi Mark's there, so you got to say this correctly, but I'm sure he'll affirm. There was a collector from Israel, maybe sort of sounds familiar. The Jewish community was poor. The Babylonian community was more affluent. So a collector came in Babylonia to collect money for the poor Jews of Israel, the destitute. And he went to one town, door to door, and no one gave. Not one person gave him money in the entire town. And he proclaimed, and this is written in the Talmud, this is not a town of Jews. Jews are compassionate. Jews are doers of kindness. That's what it means to be a Jew. A little modern day example, there's a very, very wealthy man. I believe he lives in Switzerland. I don't know if Mendy knows him. But very, very, very wealthy Jewish man that gives very generously to so many causes. And the question was asked of him, usually people have your cause, what you believe in, what you want to support. What's his cause? He's giving to everyone. He said, I'll tell you the truth. He said, as you know, I'm a Holocaust survivor. I'm not only a Holocaust survivor, I'm an Auschwitz survivor. A death camp, a death march survivor. But I want to share with you what happened the first day I got to Auschwitz. I don't have to go into such details, we all know them. I'm coming out of the cattle cars. You've been there for days. You didn't have food or drink. You're completely disoriented. You have no clue what's happening. You're in this crazy place where you see people, skeletons, shaved heads running around. You don't know, where are you? Living hell on earth. And as I'm going in line, a man comes up to me and he says, oh, I remember you. I was at your circumcision. I never met this guy in my life. Well, what day were you born again? Whatever he said, January 4th, I'm making it up, 1930. The man said, no, I was there. You were born 1928. I think I know my birthday. I was born 1930. He said, you were born 1928. You were born 1928. The man is talking to him as they're progressing in the line, January 4th, 1928, January 4th, 1928. He comes up in front of Mengele. He looks at him with that little smirk. What's your birthday? Wrote, January 4th, 1928. Go to life. Go to the right. Go to life. Because if you were under 16, you went to the left. He said, an angel I don't know saved my life. And since then, I made a vow that every day I wake up and I want to be someone's angel. And I think this is us. This is the Jewish people. All of us could have that vision. I want to wake up today and be someone's angel. I know Mendy and Sarah, every time I'm here, I'm overwhelmed by how they are the angel of so many. I know how Zelda is going to be raised. I know she's going to grow up to be an angel. And I hope all of us could share this inspiration, as Rabbi Shiner said, every new child, every new light in the world, that we could all be someone's angel every day, and with the vision of the Rebbe, that little extra act of kindness should bring the redemption now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mommy. Oh. All righty, thank you very much. My wife said before that from Wednesday, nonstop in the kitchen, and I overheard her at least once or twice on the phone. Every time, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm cooking, and this, I'm preparing. I want to ask my mother-in-law, Zelda's Bubby from Colorado, to share a few words of Mazel Tov in honor of the Simcha and the happy occasion.
Definitely a hard act to follow. I'm just going to say a few words, not a speech, so you'll be happy. I just have to say that I'm overwhelmed. It's really like a Shechayonu moment. Yes, I've been here, and yes, I've been here for Simchas. And as I become more mature, I'd like to say that, I'm humbled much more than I was. I think when I was a young bubby when I started with Gershon and had a really full house. Still have somewhat. But as we get older, smarter, hopefully a little, I really am cherishing each blessing is really big. And I'm sure you as extended family and as extended grandparents, you do know Sarah Mendy's kids better than we do. You know, I could say that I think we're decent parents and I am in touch with them, know what's going on in their lives, but you probably you see them more, the kids more, and interact more, and the kids probably recognize you as bubbies and Zadis or family friends more than they might recognize us. But I feel gratitude to Hashem, to God, that this is so beautiful for us and so special, and I'm so grateful that God gave us all these gifts and all these, and I'm so proud. And just one little thing, and I want to share with you, is while I was sitting here thinking, I actually told Mendy not to call me up, but Mendy, you know, but I remember by my father's 50th anniversary, he became emotional. We've not married 50 years, but just here, and he became emotional. He said that his parents, my father grew up in Otwock in Poland, his parents never merited to celebrate many years, 20 years even, that they didn't merit. When they were killed, unfortunately, by the Nazis, they didn't have any married kids then. And some of their kids never got married because they were killed. Thank God my father, God saved, and a few of his siblings, their lives were saved. And so I am so grateful that we do have married kids and we do have grandchildren, and my grandparents who never saw in real life their amazing legacy that they created. I'm sure in the place where they are so proud of Mendy and Sarah and all the other kids. And one last thing is, Sarah comes from a large family and she comes from siblings who, although this time, you've seen some of them over the years, although this time they weren't able to physically be here for the Simcha, when we're carrying heavy weights, and we're carrying all the good wishes of all our family who are so proud of this Turen family here, and wish them all the best. So Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Thank you so much. So we didn't mention that our baby's name, which is Zelda, that my wife makes all the decisions in the house, she's going to be called Zeldi. But today is still a formal, or the welcoming ceremony, so we're going to use the official name for today. Where did we get the name from? So in our family, thus far at least, we never named just because we like a name or for the meaning of the name, but we gave the name after somebody. So for example, Gershon is my mother-in-law's father, so my wife's grandfather. Levi, who was our youngest until a week ago, he is named after the Rebbe's father. The Rebbe always got great pleasure when somebody gave a name after somebody in his family. Now, obviously, we can't give the Rebbe's name because I have the honor of carrying that. But Zelda is actually the Rebbe's grandmother. So Reb Leivik, the Rebbe's father, this is his mother. So I wanted to mention that, and that's why it's very special to us to have the honor to give our children names in the Rebbe's family. So this is, like I said, the Rebbe's grandmother, whose name was Zelda Rachel. But Rachel is my wife's and my mother's second name. So we just were able to do the Zelda part. It's also a very special name. I also like the name. It also has significance and the meaning of it. But that is the name's sake. So we hope and pray that she lives up to the person she's named after, the Rebbe's grandmother, who was a very, very special woman who, of course, ultimately gave birth to her son, Reb Leivik, who had, of course, years later, the Rebbe as a grandchild. But I want to ask my father to share a few brief words, wishing us all Mazel Tov for the special occasion of Zelda's birth.
Baruch Hashem, thank God. You've heard a lot. A lot has been said. I'll try not to be repetitious. Every new child is a new light in the world, and we need light. And the way we bring light into the world, aside from having children, of course, is by adding in mitzvahs and in good deeds. Some mitzvahs are only for Jews. Some mitzvahs are for non-Jews. Some mitzvahs are for males. Some mitzvahs are for females, etc. 50 years ago, this week, the Lubavitcher Rebbe Melech HaMoshiach instituted a new campaign. One of his mitzvah campaigns, 50 years ago, this week, he instituted Shabbat candles, requesting and asking every Jewish woman and girl, that was the innovative part, from age 3 and even younger, to light on time every Friday and on the eve of Jewish holidays, a married woman 2 candles, a single woman or girl 1 candle. So within the next couple of years, God willing, Zelda's going to begin lighting her own Shabbat candle, as her siblings do, and of course her mother and grandmothers, and continuing on the tradition. Just wanted to mention that, and that's something that every one of us, whatever mitzvah it is, whether you're male, female, Jewish, Noachide, young, old, anywhere in between, that we should walk away with gratitude, but it should be expressed in our action. And that's how we actually greet Mashiach. And I have a very special gift, and I don't know if you can relate to the emotions, but for me, it's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure, and it's also, in a certain sense, difficult for me to part with it. But I feel honored, and I'm doing it with a whole heart, to grant my granddaughter, it's $1, $1, just $1, but this dollar is priceless for me personally, because one of the campaigns of the Rebbe is tzedakah, charity, and he constantly encourages charity, and he wants every child to have their own personal charity box, and to train them from the youngest age to be givers. As was mentioned before, different stories. So we want to educate our children to give to others. And before they even know what money is, and before they know that this can get them, well, $1 today can't get you too much, but it can get you a candy. You should know that this can help out another person, and it can tip the scales and bring Mashiach. This $1 I merited to receive in 1987 from the Rebbe Melech HaMoshiach, and I would like to continue and give it on to our dear granddaughter, Zelda. So if you can bring Zelda up, please. So she can exchange it as I did. That's how I still have the original, because you exchange it and you give at least this value or more to charity, and then you hold on to this, and because such a righteous person, Melech HaMashiach himself, held it and gave it to you, the blessings are infinite. Tes, Vav, Menachem, Av, Tav, Shem, Mem, Zayin. Okay, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Do you want to hold her? Or do you want to hold her also, or just the hold?
You hold.
Okay.
L'chaim, l'chaim. And as I always like to say, the special declaration and blessing for Mashiach, for the revelation and complete revelation, say it in Hebrew, Yechi Adonenu, Meirenu v'Rabbeinu, Melech HaMoshiach, La'olam V'od. L'chaim, Mazel Tov.
Chaim, Chaim. Once again, Mazel Tov. Thank you all so much for coming. A big thank you to God Almighty for giving us the greatest gift of all, the gift of a new child, of baby Zelda. And she already in the first week has given us a tremendous amount of nachas. She should continue to give us, her parents, the Rebbe, God Almighty himself, a tremendous amount of nachas for all the years to come. And we're going to finish all together with a special prayer for the coming of Mashiach. Everyone can repeat after me. Yechi Adinenu Marenu V'Rabbeinu Melech HaMashiach La'olam Vad. Mazel Tov, l'chaim, l'chaim.